Welcome everybody to the Watchlist, your virtual weekly TV guide right here on the Latiners Network. Ready to go over all the shows and movies, documentaries released on streaming, give you our best recommendations, and of course at the end of the show, let you know what's coming out next week so you too can create your very own watch list. As always, joining us live from Houston is Senor Jaime, aka Chewy. What it is, what it was, what it shall be.
What's up, brother? What's going on?
Everything but the excitement for this year's upcoming Comic Con, apparently.
Stop it.
I think
Stop it.
was it 2 weeks from now, right? If I'm not mistaken.
2 weeks. Yeah, a little under 2 weeks now. Yeah.
About 2 weeks, so Chewie's gonna be there by himself because no one else is going to Comic Con apparently.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it is
Yeah.
what it is. But maybe there's some nuggets he
You
picks
keep
up.
thinking that.
He picks up. There's always some TV stuff coming out in Comic Con anyway. Just because the big studios aren't gonna be, it doesn't mean it's not gonna be any good. But that being said, we'll talk about that in
Stop
a couple
hating.
of
Stop
weeks.
hating.
I just call it like it is, dude. I love Comic Con, and I'll probably go next year because hopefully everybody is returned and the strikes are over and the actors can show up and writing commence and all that to give us more good content. Maybe some stuff this week could have used some touch-ups, some writing, some better acting. Maybe not. I don't know. But let's get into it. So let's start. We just like to start with the movies. So we had one dropping on Netflix, which is a roll of the dice, as they say. You never know what you're gonna get with Netflix films. Most of the times it's
You got.
mediocre as shit.
It's Snake Eyes.
You know,
It's Snake
you never
Eyes.
know sometimes. But yeah, The Outlaws, new quote unquote comedy starring Adam Levine. Of course, the very third
The
world
poor
country Jack
man's
Black, as I like to refer him to.
not even the poor man's anymore.
No, he's third world country now. I don't know what he is, but we got a Pierce Brosnan who I like, and Barkin, of course. This one here, so we have Levine's character getting married, hasn't met his wife's or fiance's parents. They decide to show up for the wedding, and unbeknownst to him and everyone else, they are infamous bank robbers. So now he's kind of thrown into the mix for trying to kind of blow the whistle on them to protect himself, and then gets involved with them to save their daughter who's been kidnapped by their partners, etc., etc. This one looked to be silly, maybe some fun, and it was definitely none of that. None of that, as far as for me, anyways. This movie sucked. Big one. This movie should be outlawed. Um,
Silly is an insult to silliness.
It really is. This movie was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. It wasn't even funny. Sometimes these movies are stupid. They're not, just maybe some entertainment there. It's too dumb for its own good. Nothing worked. I love Pierce Brosnan. I don't care. I'll like him in anything, including this. But Levine sucks. He's always annoying. His Jack Black shtick is not good. That's all he does. He should never carry a movie. He should be a secondary character at best. This movie proves it. It's terrible. Avoid at all costs. Chewy, I assume, or hopefully you agree with that sentiment, or did you have fun with this?
Oh, no. I agree 100%. It was just wasn't good. It wasn't a good movie, man. It was hard to sit through.
It really wasn't good shit.
For the hour and a half. The jokes were, the characters were,
Yeah.
it was just unnecessary, exaggerated, over the top. It's not even doesn't even accurately describe how ridiculous the whole chase scene through the graveyard. I was like,
Terrible. It was just dumb. I mean, he could
yeah,
have gotten away with some decent action or whatever, a good heist, which we got none of that. So it has nothing. It has nothing to offer. Nothing. It's awful. It's terrible. This is what I say, that the 10 to 20% shitty movies that Netflix releases. This is
yeah.
definitely falls in the lower end of that, even that category. Not good. Avoid at all costs. We'll stick with Netflix. Enough about the Outlaws. We got a docu film, Unknown: The Lost Pyramid. This one here, of course, documenting, I guess, a Egyptian uh, archaeologist. There you go. Couldn't say
Archaeologists.
that right. Who's trying to unearth to discover, and pyramids, unbeknownst to anyone, has not been discovered. Chronicle him finding, I guess, on the outskirts, not the actual pyramid, but I guess the outskirts, some of the grave sites or whatever, the tombstones,
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
around
It's
the pyramid.
literally,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, they have an idea where it is. Obviously, it's buried, and so they're digging
right.
underground. They're finding some of the stuff, and they're kind of putting the pieces together because obviously, with what they found as far as the grave sites and the quality of the sarcophagus and whatnot, obviously they don't know who it is. So this is part of the puzzle, right?
Hmm.
It's really interesting, but I mean, it's very dry. So dry, to be honest with you, it's nothing, yeah, earth shattering. It's just if you're into Egyptian history, I think it's an interesting watch. But If you're not, there's nothing compelling about this. Is a straight, black and white docu of an excavation.
Yeah, of him trying to just unearthing these artifacts and stuff that they
Yeah.
found, to the large collection.
Well, the interesting that papyrus, which had literally, and I thought this was made up for the Mummy with Brendan Fraser, the a section of the Book of the Dead. I was like, oh shit, that's for
Yeah, that's
real.
kind of funny. Yeah. I think I thought
Axe on the
I
moon,
thought of the same thing.
axe on the moon.
It would have been cool. Brandon Fraser was there now in business. Yeah,
If he was narrating, that would have been funny.
yeah, it's dry. You're right. It's dry.
Yeah,
It's
try.
it's like
It's just
it's
fine.
like an hour and 20 minutes. I know. I mean, yeah, I think you have to be really into the subject matter if you're into Egyptian, culture and history and all that stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Other than
but
that,
but
it's just
being
it's
so
not
dry,
entertaining, right? It's not
it's like
entertaining
yeah,
ultimately.
it's not a historical events
Right.
or facts or mystery. It's just okay. They're trying to uncover more Egyptian history. That's
Right.
all it
Yeah,
is. So,
exactly. They're kind of just documenting the search and crawling through the catacombs, whatever,
mhm.
the tombs, and whatever. It's
No,
fine.
and
Yeah, it's
what they
interesting.
find
It's
is
interesting.
obviously
Yeah.
they get full access because when they
Yeah.
uncover, some of the tombs that they haven't been robbed, by thieves. So this is the first time they
Mhm.
opens and one of them was like mummification was still not a complete science at the time. So you can see a lot of decomposure. But they found one with the gold and the jewels and stuff that hasn't been touched,
Yeah.
and so it's fairly
No,
interesting
it's a good
in
find.
that
Yeah,
point of view.
that's rare to see
Yeah.
something like that. Like I said, you really have to be into this stuff to kind of enjoy it.
Hmm.
Otherwise, because it's a little too dry for its own good. Not the
Yeah.
worst thing, but if you're fans of that, yeah, I'll recommend it for that reason. Next up, we have another Netflix again. What else is new? Second season dropped of Back to 15. This one's a Brazilian show. Latinos, we gotta support our own, so we're supporting it. We're watching it. This one here, it's about a 30-year-old woman who finds a way to, I guess, travel back through time via an old photo block she had on her computer for some reason. She finds herself,
Was it MySpace? I don't
I
remember.
don't know, it was maybe MySpace or before that, I don't know, whatever. So now she's back. She's 15, hence the title, and she finds herself, trying to fix and make her life better. But everything she does obviously has an effect down the road, and things are getting worse, things are getting better for some people, and she keeps going back to try to fix things and put things the way she feels it needs to be. Second season, Chewy. I know I was okay with the first one. It was fine. It was entertaining. It was okay. Second season, and this one that is where people. Would you recommend this people to go watch? If it's worth going back to watch the first season, just to watch this one.
No, it's not. I mean, it's an okay international, I guess, dramedy, right?
Yeah,
But it's
yeah,
not. It's not something I would say. Okay, you have to go back and watch it. But like I said, it was such a light week, and I've seen season one. I was like, okay, I go watch it. But if that's about it, that's about it.
yeah. I guess yeah, because yeah, same thing. It's fine. It's not a bad show. Um, I
Yeah.
have issues with the time travel stuff, but whatever. It's light, it's fluffy, almost too light, fluffy. A little bit of hokey at times, but whatever, it's fine. I'll finish watching it. I think I'm full in. There's only 6 episodes this second season. That's a 30-minute
Yeah.
episode, 30 minutes. A couple in like 38, but not many. So it's a fairly easy watch. It's very light, but this is not one I say. And go back and watch. It's a good show. There's a lot of good comedies out there. Never Have I Ever, of course, Sex Education, but last season's coming up as
Hmm.
well. If you're gonna go back and watch something, watch those instead. They're just far superior shows than this. Next up, we got The Lincoln Lawyer season 2, part 1. Right? Netflix is getting to this part 1, part 2 kind of phase. We saw with The Witcher, with Stranger Things, and now with Lincoln Lawyer. I'm not sure Lincoln Lawyer was a show that deserved to be split, like a Witcher or
I
Stranger
don't
Things.
think it did. I was a little
Yeah,
surprising,
surprised,
but
but maybe again, maybe the viewership numbers are really high, so maybe right. I don't know. I didn't look at the specifics of that, but this one here obviously is based off prior source material, a book, and I mean a series of books. I don't know. There was a movie with McConaughey, and
mhm.
lawyers pretty much works out of his Lincoln. This one here starring I forgot his name, but he's Latino, so here we go again. That's what I'm talking about. The lawyer kind of thrust back into a big case and to a firm that I guess a friend's firm, right? I think he got roped back into. So it's kind of
uh,
a something that's I
I'm
forget.
not sure.
Yes, something like
Well, it
that.
might have been somebody he knew. I don't know if it was a friend,
Or
but
some a colleague or something. But either
yeah,
way, he's given his
yeah.
practice, and that's using the practice, and courtroom drama stuff ensues.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the first season. That first season was cool. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I get why the second season. I don't get why it needed to be broken up, but whatever. Again, maybe viewership was really good. I know it's a pretty popular show. I love the characters. I love the main guy. I think he's great. This one, season 2, I've seen like two episodes only because a lot of stuff I was catching up on. It was good. It's good. It's this there again. Not a great show, entertaining one. I like courtroom dramas. If you're into that, great. Good main character, so it works, comes together. It's light. It's not too heavy. It's a good, easy watch. Chew your thoughts.
No, I agree, man. Like I said, it's a very entertaining show. Like I like season one a lot, right? It was one of these surprise shows that we weren't expecting much, or we didn't know what to expect.
Sure.
Like, obviously we had seen the movie. I'd seen the movie. I'm not sure if you had
I saw a movie
way
when
back
it came out.
when.
Way back, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But this is yeah very fit to some of our courtroom drama type shows that we enjoy, and so it's a good formula. It sticks to the formula.
Yeah.
Has some interesting. Obviously, the main character is very likable,
Yeah.
and so that's what the key part is. So if you like the character, then you will like the show, and it has very interesting mysteries going on with as he's trying to obviously get his client off or defend his client. So it's pretty good, man. I
Yeah,
like it.
like this is one of the shows like is equated to like Night Agent, The Recruit, right? Good, solid shows with good main characters, right? If you're gonna give us status quo, give us something to latch onto. This show does. That's what I think that people like because of the main character. He's really good. But it's a
Mm.
good show. I definitely recommend. This is one I unlike Back to 15. I'll say, you know what? If you haven't seen it, go back, catch up on it. It's very well done, well produced. And just if you're into the courtroom drama, why not?
Mm.
The last
Mm.
one here, The Horrors of Dolores Roach. This was on Amazon, dropping 8 episodes, 30-minute watch. This one here is kind of a take on Sweeney Todd, right? If I'm not mistaken. We have the main character, Dolores Roach, who, when she was younger, had kind of a questionable boyfriend, drug dealer, and she got caught one day with the drugs. She went to jail for him. 6 years later, she's out. The neighborhood's changed. Of course, she's in New York. Nothing's the same anymore. Boyfriend took off on her. She got nowhere to go, no money, nothing, but finds solace in this little empanada joint that still happens to be around, of which she knows the guy who's running, whose father ran it before, and he lends out a hand. He can stay with her, whatever the case is. She begins to learn to be a masseuse. She learned that trade in a funny way in jail, when she was in prison, and circumstances arise to where she's forced to. Off somebody for whatever reason, and to protect her, the guy who owns the shop decides to use him as meat for the empanadas. That's where the Sweeney Todd thing comes in. Now all hell breaks loose in a very strange and unusual show. Chew, your thoughts on it before I jump in.
Yeah, it was good to see Mark Maron eat again, but
Yeah,
only for one episode. God, come on, man, you deserve
and
better
I
than
like
that.
Marin. Yeah, he's great.
I know, dude. Like I said, it's a definitely off the beaten path show, right? Very heavy in the inner monologue. Some are funny, some are very
It's
entertaining.
a
It
dramedy.
has its
Yeah,
moments.
yeah. It's not a
Yeah,
comedy. It's a
yeah,
dramedy, right? Yeah.
yeah. It's drama. Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's hard to make
Oh, true.
murder complete comedy, but they try.
They do. They do.
But like I said, it is entertaining, right? It's a different show. I think I prefer this a lot more than I Am Virgo, honestly. Brian Virgo was just like I was just something about that that just couldn't latch onto. But this one is like right off the bat, I think I'll be able to latch onto it and enjoy it a lot more. Because I don't think it's so existential as I Am Virgo was just it was
Right.
just a weird premise and so this one's at least a lot bit more grounded, right, and relatable.
Yeah, and listen, continue the theme this week, I'm very happy about more Latino representation, right? This is a show that takes place in New York. You got, I think she's Puerto Rican. I
Amen.
know she's Puerto Rican or Dominican, whatever it is.
I believe, yeah, I think it's Puerto Rican, but hey, we got empanadas,
We
dude.
got empanadas,
Come on,
baby. Like some
come on,
empanadas. Come on, dude.
let's go, dude.
Marin empanadas, if you will. Yeah. Listen, it's a
Oh,
definitely.
funny story. When I went to New York, I went to one of his empanada places, man. Delicious.
Of course, a delish. Yeah,
Off the hook, dude.
it's worth it just for that. The show worth it just for that. But you're right. Unlike I'm Virgo, which was too existential for its own good, right? This is a little more palatable, right? It's some strange. There's a sex scene in here that's wow, very odd. I don't know if you got in there yet or not, Chewy. I want to say, I think it's episode
No,
four or
funny.
five.
I'm at the episode where she's attempting to kill the Mark Maron character
Okay, all
or
right.
the
So yeah, so
landlord.
a couple more. There's a
Um,
weird scene that
yeah.
okay, sure, because the builder, the owner of the shop, he's very odd, and the sex scene illustrates that kind of disturbingly, but whatever. That being said, it's fun. Listen, it's a fun show, kind of. It's entertaining enough. I actually do
No,
enjoy
good.
it.
As long as I don't see him, put the put that feeling in empanadas.
No, no, no. But I'll leave. I don't want to. I don't need to hint what
Yeah.
goes on, but whatever. I'll leave it at that. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
All
weird. I
right.
was like, what the? Okay, fine. But yeah, I think it's an interesting show. Like the character and situation she's in. It's an interesting take on Sweeney Todd, right? There was something different, and it's not a copycat of that at all. They're just taking some of the same basic premise, and kind of go.
Mm-hmm.
She's not killing people because she. It's just. It's not she's killing people all left and right making meat pies. It's not what the show's about,
No,
essentially.
no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no,
she's
no.
struggling.
Yeah.
She's trying to get out of it. Just happens to be in the situations, and this guy's tempering her out in the strangest way
Wrong
he
place,
could think
wrong
of. Right?
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an odd show, a little bit unique, it's different, but it's good. I like odd to a certain point. Right? We like Mrs. Davis. We talked about similar style. It's an
Mm-hmm.
odd, unconventional kind of story and told in a certain way. This is along those lines more so than it is I Am Virgo, which it was way too out there for mainstream to really accept a show like that. This is again more palatable.
Mm-hmm.
I will recommend it's a decent watch. Again, all 8 episodes on Amazon as we speak. And that's it for this week. Not a big week, not a great week. The Outlaws notwithstanding, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. Outlaws may have been this year, but not one of the worst I've seen this year. But
Oh well,
oh,
well. I guess before we jump into,
mhm.
obviously, I assume, I hope you finally finished The Witcher,
No,
season three,
not
part
not
one.
yet. We're cycling
Oh,
through it.
no wonder you didn't bring it up. I'm like, what is going on here?
Listen, what she, also my wife now she wants to see everything. So now we're watching Hijack, which we're a little behind. We're watching Warrior because
What?
it's Warrior, and
Oh
first
well,
of
hey,
all,
Warrior. Yeah,
nothing
okay.
should be watched
Warrior, I
ahead of
will
Warrior,
accept.
right? Nothing's yeah, and
Yes.
like I said, we have to finish catching the first 2 seasons, so that delayed us until next week. We're one episode caught up, right? When you want more, I told you I was gonna wait to watch the last episode of The Warrior, but Warrior trumps everything. That's a show again, guys. That's a show you should be watching above anything else right now. Go back, rewatch the first 2 seasons if you haven't seen it. Season 3 is out now. 4 episodes thus far every week on Thursdays. That's your show.
Mm-hmm.
It's taking present. So it is what it. You got to figure for that. But I will finish Witcher this week. We'll talk about that. The part one anyway of the Witcher. I am watching on Hulu another show that you're big fans of, and I was turned on to the show recently. That's Godfather of Harlem. I was gonna.
Oh, they finally
Yeah,
dropped season
they
three.
dropped it on
Okay.
Hulu. I didn't realize so I don't have to get MGM Plus for a week. So I'm watching that on Hulu. But Hulu has the first 3 seasons. Good show. Godfather Harlem, Forrest Whitaker. Great period slash historical drama gangster show. Very
Mm-hmm.
cool. Very enjoying that a lot. But next week, let's talk about what's coming out next week. A lot of things, kind of a big week, sort of. On Apple Plus, starting on the 12th, I believe it's on Wednesday. It's the After Party Season 2, because Tiffany Haddish and
Yeah.
company returning. We're fans of the first season. First season is very funny.
Oh,
It's
first
kind of,
season was great,
yeah,
dude. It was great,
it's a
man.
murder mystery and told in a unique way and all that. It's so I expect the same thing season 2. We'll get into that, but it's a funny
I,
show.
I still have that three dot song in my
Yeah,
head.
yeah. It's a really good show. A lot of comedic talent involved here, and I think they got obviously different characters.
Yes.
Some returning characters, some different characters. Hopefully it's good. Apple Plus, I think, hit a good one with that one. On Max, your place for HBO. I don't know, just don't call it HBO.
Nice.
But Max, we got a on Thursday release, which is impeding on Warriors. It's a space, if you will. I assume it's coming out before, I guess, after Warrior. I don't know, but it's called Full Circle. It's a miniseries directed by
Let me just.
yeah, big time director Soderbergh, who's really good. Claire Danes, CCH Pounder, Timothy Oliphant, who we're fans of. He's got a show coming up. I'm sure we'll talk about next week.
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess it's a murder, a kidnapping that went wrong. It's an investigation, and of course, uncovering the truth behind it, something along those lines. It's a Thursday show, so okay, it's not the big release. Then again, it was Warrior, which it deserved to be. God damn it. So we'll catch that one on Thursday. Another one that Thursday, a Korean show, Burned the House Down, kind of revenge. Someone's gonna get the comeuppance. I'm always down with that. I guess a young girl who grew up whose mother took blame for a disastrous fatal fire, and now she's gonna pretend to be a housekeeper to infiltrate the people who are responsible and dole out the comeuppance as they should. So I'm interested in that. The 14th, we got Foundation. I know Chewy's very excited about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2 sci-fi show, which I thought started okay, but the last half really picked up for me. Things kind of came together. It's a very dense show, right? So it takes a while to kind of put all the pieces together so they can move forward. Very cool.
I've gone back to rewatch season one right now, and because just because it's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's
It's
been
a
a
lot.
long
Yeah,
while.
I won't have a chance to, but I mean, I'll need a nice good recap before the season starts. I'm sure Apple will put a recap on there. Dentro, but really good, very well made, great science fiction. If you're not into that, this is a really good, well produced
Hmm.
show. Considering it looks expensive because it's very sci-fi, right? You know, it's
Hmm.
not shooting on location here. Um, on the 14th as well, we got a little Spanish show, a little Barcelona show, because Bird Box, or movie, Bird Box Barcelona, España, you know, of course, I guess different take or whatever. I don't know what it is, a sequel, prequel. I don't know. Of course, Bird Box, you know, was it Sandra Bullock Netflix film, which
Yes.
was okay, but it was big for them, big for Netflix. So they're bringing a Spanish version of it. I'm not sure if it's like a remake or whatever, but whatever. I like the first one; it was fine, and what the hell, I'll check it out on the 14th. And last one, our reality show is what is it? Five Chefs. Am I saying that right?
Yes,
Something I
that's
think
correct.
Five
Yes.
Chefs. It's a food competition show. I like those. You know, we have
Hmm.
established chefs competing it out, batting out for supremacy, if you will. That comes out on the 14th. So interesting stuff. Then not a huge week, but some good shows to catch up on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about those next week. But take Foundation will be the big one for me. I think for you too, probably.
Absolutely, man. Hmm.
We get a really
Yeah.
good show, and hopefully, yeah, and after party. So Apple Plus is headline this week. You know, I guess for Circle will be it's HBO. So I'm most curious about HBO does.
Well, it's a limited series. I'm at 6 episodes,
All right.
dropping two,
Yeah,
two
two every
each
week.
week.
Yeah,
So,
I like the cast,
yeah.
and you know, who knows? HBO does good work. They're consistent. They don't always
Mm,
hit, i.e., idol, but sometimes you get great stuff,
yeah,
i.e., Warrior.
man.
But yeah, no, more Warriors, not man. Take that back. Um,
No,
Warriors.
no, no. The idol.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. No, Idols below man. But notwithstanding, so yeah, to check us out, we'll talk about these shows next week. Let you know what's coming out. Of course, as always, subscribe, hit the like button, share, etc. We appreciate it, and we see you guys next week.
Peace.